and welcome back to the AtomicMari channel. Today is October the 5th in the diabolical is this even real life year that is 2020. Every Twitter news headline sounds like the title of an Onion article, and I, along with most of y'all, have now surpassed 200 days of quarantine. We're going into spooky season and the US voting season, which are equally scary this year. For the former, don't go out. Don't do it. It's not worth it. And for the latter, do it. Do everything you can to be involved. Clearly, this year is the year of ups and downs, heavy news, and a perpetual tsunami wave of obstacle after obstacle. Calling 2020 a dumpster fire isn't even relevant anymore because it's more accurate to call it an absurd gender reveal wildfire, cause that actually happened. And yet, through it all, we endure, because that's what humans do. There's sometimes even the silver lining. There's glimmers of light in all the darkness. And to be honest, lately, I'm finding that spark. From FaceTiming with my parents, playing Fortnite with my nephews, calling friends and family on the phone more than ever. Who knew? This machine makes telephone calls. Quarantine's given us the time to carve out time, focus on ourselves and our home life. I'm coming back to my channel with a renewed spirit and this really clear mindset. So I figured I'd not only document it, but I'd do a little vibe check today. Or maybe a mood check, because it's Monday. Like a little mood check Monday. That's kind of cute. That might be the title of this. So how am I? Every day is different, to be honest. Some days are good and some days are bad like everyone else, but I think I'm just giving myself the agency to feel it all, because when I was really busy, it was really easy to just kind of like not focus on it and focus on the next thing, the next thing. And right now, I've just been able to take it day by day and take little bites instead of trying to take these like giant bites into what I'm doing. Something that really rang true for me, a concept I've learned over quarantine, is that you are your instrument. An instrument which takes care and work. And like a musician, it's imperative that you listen and tune your instrument, like picking at a guitar string and fixing little by little the ones that are out of tune. That imagery of your well-being, mentally and physically, inwardly and outwardly being your instrument has given me so much food for thought. With that said, let's get to our mood check. Mood check. First up, my health. My constitution, if you will. Is it normal to talk in RPG terms all the time? Been playing a lot of D&D. Anyway, health, physicality, vitals, for me, have improved over quarantine. I don't know about you, but not going out has made me realize how often I would snack just to snack. Like, I would somehow need to stop in for a midday boba break because, let's be real, it was out of craving or boredom. And also that sweet, sweet boba voice calling to me. I'd sit in coffee shops to work, just to sit in a coffee shop to work. Catching up with friends is always like, let's go get lunch. And honestly, I would eat just to eat in the moment, whether I was hungry or not. 2020 is really calling me out. So yeah, I think it was a lot of mindless consumption. And now, right now, I am closing out week 2 of my 90-day journey. Ooh, yeah. I'm a friend of Blogilates, but I'm a fan first. So I bought this and I've been having a really good time with it. It's made me realize that I'm the type of person that works well with guidelines. So if you're interested in hearing more about this journey, please let me know in the comments so I can do a deeper dive on it. With that said, I'm cooking at home, feeling like a little Japanese Rachel Ray, making better decisions and making some really gorgeous meals, I'm not gonna lie. In terms of working out, I have a love-hate relationship with working out at home. Pros, I don't have to drive anywhere, go to a gym, I'm saving money. Everyone's got an online class now, so it's easier to get access to diverse classes, whether it's yoga or dance or HIIT classes, whatever, without any contracts or commitments most of the time, which is dope and probably super unique to this time right now, so it's probably really good to take advantage of. But the cons are I miss group classes. I miss having the space to fly and jump across a big dance floor. Having a routine to go somewhere and do it. But at the end of the day, it's making me realize what it takes in me to be self-disciplined. Like, when I don't have a coach that's expecting me to show up, how do I act? Well, as a ballerina, people just assume I'm disciplined. There was always an expectation when I was growing up as a dancer. Someone was keeping track. It was my job at the time, so it was like I had to show up. There was pressure. I didn't want to disappoint. But now, when there's no one really waiting on me, it's way easier to slack off. So I have my ups and downs. Sometimes I have weeks where I'm moving a lot and I'm a damn machine. And then other times I straight up activate my superpower to transform into a human sloth and melt into my couch watching 90 Day Fiancé for hours. The contrast is extraordinary. I don't have a solution for this just yet, but I would love to know if things have been helping for you and what those things have been. I'll let you know how that journey goes for me as I figure it out as well. I have to think that understanding your habits is the first way to like track how to do things better. So what's next? Oh, zit check. If you this one's kind of gross, so skip ahead if you don't want to hear about this. If you've been watching my live streams on Twitch, then you know my whole drama about breaking out the past few months. TLDR, I unknowingly used a moldy face steamer during what was supposed to be a relaxing spa night for myself, but instead, I opened up my pores to a petri dish of random bacteria and have been breaking out nonstop for about 3 months. But I think my body has finally like flushed out or pushed out or expunged or yeeted the last of the steamer mold. Oh my god. I still get like visceral reactions to it. Oh, my skin is crawling because I remember what it looked like, the chunks when it was falling out of the, oh my god. Anyway, my face is finally beginning to balance out. So, with that said, dear biology, you're disgusting. But also, thank you, because now my pores have done the thing where it pushes out whatever is foreign in itself. And those were mold pores. So, my pores say thank you. Thank you. Next checkup on my instrument is my mind. Today, rolling mid to high on this sanity check. Yes, I'm still making D&D references. It's like a 16 on a D20. There's like a lot of things brewing, and like not a lot of these projects are super secret or anything like that, but there's a lot of things happening, and I'll for sure be all out talking about this stuff as it rolls out. Like, I will not be quiet about it, so you'll know about it, because it's sincerely really exciting stuff. But I'll just focus on one thing today. How do I start this? Okay, so you know when you were a kid and when someone asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up, you would just say like whatever, like the biggest things, right? An astronaut, a firefighter, the president of the United States, which doesn't have the same connotation today that it used to. Anyway, you would just go for it, right? The bigger the dream, the better. For me, being an actor was that big dream. But as I got older and older, that big dream started to feel more and more like a pipe dream. The dream that was too big to dream. And slowly it was squashed and squashed, not because I actually tried and was discouraged, but more so because I didn't I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want to sound stupid or be judged or discouraged for having a dream that seemed like too big or outside of what I could do. But quarantine, of all things, forced me to look deeper into this insecurity, and out of it, I finally gave myself, like, I keep using this word agency, but it feels really true. Like, I gave myself the agency to actually give it a go, to call myself an aspiring actor, to allow myself to dream and go for it, because for a long time I didn't want to try and fail. my pride was holding me back. And so now here's me making my first steps. And I'm really proud to say that. Like, I'm really stoked on it. And I think before when I was talking about how I didn't want to sound stupid and things like this, like, I don't want to put blame on other folks, because I don't think it was that at all. People weren't discouraging me. It was myself feeling too, it was me not having the confidence. And one of the things that does give me confidence is having someone else validate that I've gone through a class and whatnot. So I'm enrolled in method classes through an academy in LA, and I'm realizing a lot about myself and like gaining confidence. Actors 100% can go into auditions without having gone through school, but for me, like I was just saying, in like my mindset, I need to know that I've done the work and the hours to feel like I deserve to be in an audition room. I relate this rigidity in like this mindset to ballet training, to be honest. And I don't know if it's good or bad. I mean, it's good for the academy because they're getting paid, but like, I think it's my personality. I equate studying and dumping hours and hours and years into a craft to be able to call myself a professional in anything. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but for me, that's my brain. And I'll actually, this gives me an idea for a follow-up video, but it is the way that I translate what I've done and what gives me confidence. So I think this is tied to my personality. This brings me to the next part, which is related to what I've learned in acting class and the depurpling. The depurpling was a big deal, and it has everything to do with what I've been experiencing with acting. To give a little context, I had been purple for 4 years and bright red for 2 years before that, and brown before that, and half shaved and blue and jet black and feathered, whatever the heck that was, bleached. It's been something for years. And a big part of it was that at different times in my life, whether it was said to me or it perpetuated in my own insecurity in my own mind, I believed that I was very forgettable, that I had a forgettable face. Comments that alluded to, quote, Asians all look alike started early in my life, and I think it really affected me. As I started getting more and more known on the internet, it really surprised me every time someone recognized me on the street. It would take me aback, honestly. But it started to feel more and more like if I wasn't with my friends like Joven and Lasercorn that people associate me with, people didn't recognize me. And although I didn't fixate on it, it definitely affected me. Purple, after many years, became my signature, to the point where people would say, like, wasn't sure if that was you, but I saw the purple and then I knew it was you. And that made me feel good. It really did. It made me feel like I had an anchor, until it started to feel like I was stuck, like people wouldn't recognize me without it. So then I was back to square one. I think with quarantine, it allowed me to sort of like chill off of re-dyeing it, because for obvious reasons. I don't know, it gave me kind of like a detox to figure out what being purple meant to me in some ways. Then enter acting class. Enter looking deeper into who I am. Going back to the instrument analogy I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, acting class is where I learned that concept. The other concept that stuck with me is that acting is not about trying to be somebody else. It is about being unabashedly, unequivocally yourself. And in this study, I've found a deeper confidence because I'm digging around and I'm figuring out the things that make me feel insecure and the things that do make me feel confident. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm like, boom, like I'm 100% there, like I've got it all. But this hits different, if you know what I mean. Like I'm doing some digging that I didn't do before. So here's me, back to natural, focusing on my instrument, cooking things up, both literally and figuratively. And I feel really, really good. I feel fantastic in my skin, despite the moldy skin. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to take it back there. But no, I feel really, really good in my skin right now. And I think there's still more digging that is going to be necessary for the rest of my life. You know, I don't think that it's gonna be like, okay, one and done. And so the plan is to do a mood check video every first Monday of the month. And this was October's, and funny enough, the next first Monday of the month in November is my birthday. So that'll be the next mood check. And I'll fill the rest of the Mondays with diving a bit deeper into detail the things that were mentioned in the mood check videos. Because I think those are the things that are like leveling me up in life, and like the things that I'm doing differently, or I'm discovering things about myself. You know, in RPG terms, the skill point added to my skill tree. In instrument terms, the new music notes you learn. I'm not a musician, clearly. That's gonna wrap up this month's mood check. Please let me know what you'd like to learn more about in the comments, whether it's the 90-day journey with Blogilates, acting, cooking, journaling, health and beauty stuff, etc. I'd love to know what was interesting for you, so please leave those in the comments. I'll be reading them all week. You can find me across social media. And I'm streaming on Twitch, which has been a new thing since quarantine. And if you'd like to check out other videos on this channel, click over here. Be excellent to yourself and each other. I'll see you next week. Mata raishu ne. Oh yeah, damn straight I'm bringing that back. Okay, bye-bye.